Artificial intelligence, or AI, makes it possible for machines to learn from experience, adjust to new inputs, and perform human-like tasks. It is changing our lives and is already having a huge impact on so many industries. AI has revolutionized food security, human identification, e-commerce, health, and much, much more. Creativity and innovation powered by AI has become the true wealth of nations in the 21st century. The whole world is racing to upskill, learn, and deploy new solutions to tackle humanity's biggest problems. Now in its second year, the Hackmakers team presents to you Build with AI 2021, our annual flagship Hackathon Challenge event. We're calling on students, participants, mentors, and professionals to contribute to such an important event with a direct impact on the world. In celebration of International Internet Day, this hackathon will run from Friday, 29th October to Tuesday, 2nd November, followed by panel discussions and project showcases up until Friday, the 5th of November. We have decided to focus on 3 key challenge themes based on the most in-demand skills that tomorrow's society will need. Challenge Theme 1, Predictive Analytics. Predictive analytics is the use of data, statistical algorithms, and machine learning techniques to identify the likelihood of future outcomes based on historical data. The goal is to go beyond knowing what has happened to provide a best assessment of what will happen in the future. Challenge Theme 2, Audio-Visual Analytics. This is a field of AI that enables computers and systems to derive meaningful information from digital images, videos, and other visual inputs, and take actions or make recommendations based on that information. Challenge Theme 3, Prescriptive Analytics. This is a type of data analytics that helps organizations make better decisions through the analysis of raw data. By participating in the Build with AI 2021 Hackathon, you can learn new skills, win your share in over 20,000 Australian dollars worth of prizes, and meet great people from all around the world. Most of all, you can help make a significant difference to the world that we live in today. Together, we can build with AI.
It's Dan from Hackmakers. Thank you everyone for joining us for the opening ceremony of the Build with AI Hackathon 2021 edition, powered by our lead sponsors Oracle and OpenWeaver. I would also like to express my appreciation to our sponsors Slack, ITIC, and INE, and look forward to sharing the positive experiences and learnings with all participants and mentors as we embark on this weekend in celebration of International Internet Day and the virtual cross-pollination of skills for the betterment of global humanity and society. This is the second edition of a global event centered around the application of community technology and innovation to address global and social challenges. This year's event is themed around 3 challenges that we are expecting our competitors to use data analytics and machine learning for. We have 3,000 registered participants, 150 plus mentors from over 80 countries and 20 time zones working together to produce meaningful solutions. We have a lineup of amazing speakers, with our chairman Steve Nouri concluding the ceremony with the challenge statements and supplementary documents. Before we hear from them, I would like to thank our generous lead sponsors Oracle and OpenWeaver, and our sponsors INE, Slack and ITIC. Please welcome David Carmona, General Manager, Artificial Intelligence and Innovation at Microsoft. He's also the author of O'Reilly's book, The AI Organization. In his 20 years with Microsoft, he's worked across marketing, development, and artificial intelligence. He's also driven their AI business, thought leadership, and incubation motions across enterprise and developer products and services.
Hi everybody, it's a pleasure to be part of this Build with AI hackathon. As developers, I love this moment of excitement when we are about to build something new. I'm sure that you all love playing with new and cool technologies, but making the technology trustworthy is equally important. Innovation is not only about the new shiny object, but also about earning society's trust, because that's the only way that you can have an impact in the world with technology. Today, I would love to share 3 key things for you to keep in mind for developing AI responsibly. The first one is principles. The first step to develop AI responsibly is to understand the challenges that it brings and define your positioning for those challenges. But you can't stop there. You need to make those principles real. And for that, you will need to adopt practices of responsible AI. And lastly, you want to understand the tools and technologies out there that will help you implement those practices. So it's not only about knowing the latest cool technologies, but also the latest breakthroughs for responsible AI. 6 principles that guide our developing of AI. You can use them as inspiration for yours. The first one is fairness, a hugely important one. AI is trained on data that can be biased, and a model trained on that data can perpetuate that bias in society. Reliability and safety, because we are still in the early stages of AI, so we have to be aware of the limitations to guarantee that it's reliable and safe to use. And because it relies so much on data, privacy and security are big challenges for AI too. At the same time, we have to make sure that AI is accessible to everybody. AI has a great potential to make the technology even more accessible to more people. For example, to the 1 billion people with some kind of disability. Underneath these principles, there are 2 that are especially important because without them, none of the others can be possible. The first one is transparency. The first step to address the challenges with AI is to be aware of those challenges. And that can only happen if we develop an AI that is transparent. And finally, accountability. We can't. We have to be accountable for its usage, and that requires the human to be part of the entire process. The second thing that I wanted you to remember is practices. Responsible AI is not something that you should remember at the end of the development of your solution. It has to be present at every stage. That means that even before you start developing in the definition phase, you have to be aware of the challenges and start as early as that. Because the use case of your solution can have already challenges. You should evaluate things like the potential impact to users, which could be economic, physical, or even equality. Then, of course, you have to apply responsible AI to the development itself, making sure that the data and the models that you're creating are not compromising any of your principles. And finally, operations. You will need to monitor your solution continuously over time. The good news is that you have many tools to help you implement these practices, which brings me to the last thing that I want you to remember, tools. You can think of 3 types of tools. First, tools to help you understand what is going on. In the case of Microsoft, you have several tools, all available open source. and you can use them today. FurLearn is a tool that will help you identify and mitigate bias in your models. InterpretML allows you to open the black box of a model and understand how it's making the decisions inside. Data drift can warn you when the data in production is changing, affecting the accuracy of the model. The second group is Protect. You have several technologies that you can use to protect the privacy in your solution. Homomorphic encryption, for example, lets you run AI models on top of encrypted data. Confidential ML is a solution that you can use to train your model on data provided by different parties without any of them having access to the rest. And differential privacy protects the privacy in aggregated data sets, which are super common in AI. The third one is control. You are going to find solutions out there to manage the entire MLOps lifecycle that we saw before. Azure Machine Learning is one of those, and it actually integrates responsible AI tools throughout that lifecycle to make it easier to use. So hope this was useful to you. You have much more information, including the links to all the tools that we have seen in this URL here, aka.ms/RAI resources.
Please welcome Ashok Balasubramanian, Chief Executive Officer at OpenWeaver. Ashok Balasubramanian is the Chief Executive Officer at OpenWeaver, a SaaS tech startup with a singular vision to reinvent digital realization. They are headquartered in New York with operations in New York and Chennai, India. He has a bachelor's in engineering and an MBA from IIM Bangalore. He's also an official member of the Forbes Technology Council.
Hello and a very warm welcome to everyone. Today, everything is digital. The store, the bank, our friends, and many aspects of our lives are on phones today. It's a great time to be a developer, especially in AI. The past couple of years have been very defining for AI. We did see most of the AI projects deliver ROI, and AI being used in a wide range of use cases, from the humble service desk all the way to genomic research and life sciences. We've also seen GPT-3 being able to converse naturally, as well as AlphaFold 2 solve decades-old Nobel Prize-worthy issues. Over the next couple of decades, we can really look forward to quantum ML and further strides in AI. So all this has been very exciting and a great future ahead for AI. But what I find enduring are two critical things. First is open source, and second is democratization. These two have truly shaped the way in how AI has grown exponentially over the past couple of years. So let's delve a little detail on these two things. So the first aspect is open source. Think about it. AI, there is so much innovation happening every day. There's no set standards, and it's being used in our core applications and everyday life, making it very critical. So this combination of criticality and volatility makes it very difficult. And to further this, there are things like explainability, responsible AI, bias, and other factors. Yeah, if it were a closed ecosystem, this could have proven really fatal. But open source has brought developers together in an open and collaborative way to help them build and rapidly innovate on AI. Barriers to entry minimal, thereby accelerating the adoption of AI. So one very significant lever. And the second one is equally important as well. So think about all the use cases that can be implemented using AI. And think of singularity. It essentially means that AI knows as much as humanity does. So to get to that level of intelligence, we need all of humanity building AI, which is happening in practice today. So you actually see millions of developers training models, developing use cases in AI. So this is the fastest and best way to scale digital. Open source, Democratization and AI are the three facets that we're bringing together to develop applications through our platform, Candy. We're bringing over 430 million knowledge items that will help you build applications and share them with the community. We're proud to sponsor the Build with AI Hackathon, where we use the same philosophy to build use cases in the field of education. Education is very dear to all of us. I've firsthand seen during this pandemic on how my daughters kind of transitioned smoothly to a 100% online classroom and completed more than a whole school. And they've gone through a lot of challenges, right from learning these collaborative tools, having to bond with friends online, and so on and so forth. But surprisingly, the students have embraced this change much faster than adults and have gained digital literacy in a very short period of time. We have this great opportunity ahead of us where we can help them build on top of this digital literacy into many other use cases that can help scale digital. So we seek solutions to help the student community and the education community succeed in this hybrid classroom. I look forward to innovative ideas from each one of you to help our next generation and thereby our futures. Cheers and all the best.
Please welcome Benjamin Arnulf, Senior Director, Product Strategy Analytics at Oracle. Benjamin Arnulf is the Senior Director, Product Strategy Analytics at Oracle. He is a global AI, data and analytics strategy leader with 15 years of international experience in Europe and USA. He was awarded #1 global leader in data warehouse and big data for the Oracle Excellence Award. He's also one of the top 21 influencers in the data analytics for 2021 by Rivery. He's also a member of the Deloitte Advisory Board for Oracle Analytics.
Hi and welcome to the Build with AI Hack 2021. My name is Benjamin Arnulf. I'm Senior Director Product Strategy for Oracle Analytics. I'm really happy to see so many participants today, and I hope you are going to have a lot of fun. As I always say, the secret of happiness, it's really helping others. And to do that faster, it's always better to use AI and machine learning. We have been doing that for the past years with Oracle, and we have been looking at ML, auto insight around 3 different teams that you are going to use for this hackathon: visual analytic, predictive analytic, and prescriptive analytic. We have been using machine learning around different projects and proof of concept, like predictive analytic to predict donation for non-profit organization like WATSI. We have been also using prescriptive analytic to look at the number of passengers by gate, by airline, and different airports in the world. We have been also using MRI healthcare analytics to look at anomaly detection. And finally, predictive analytics to look at the commodity price increase all over the world, as we saw from the United Nations World Food Programme. Again, all these examples are very professional, but I can assure you that you can do the same with your tool of choice using any type of analytic platform. I will also tell you that you have to really not only look at the data to do predictive analytic and prescriptive analytic, but use augmented analytic to take better decision and at the end action. We see too many times some analytic leader looking only at the data and at the end with not real goal. So remember today the goal is really to take decision and action on the biggest challenges in the world. You are part of the hackathon to bring together all the citizen data scientists, analysts, and business analysts to solve these challenges. I want to say also a big thank you to you, to our sponsor, to the partner, and to the HackMaker team to do this hackathon exceptional this year. So thank you, and again, good luck with the hack.
Please welcome Kate Pounder, CEO at Technology Council of Australia. Kate Pounder is the CEO at the Technology Council of Australia. She was previously Managing Director at Accenture and also spent 2 years with McKinsey & Co. A BA Honours grad from the University of Adelaide, she has over 15 years of experience across communications, government and consulting.
Welcome everyone to the Build with AI Hack for 2021. I'm very excited to be celebrating the launch of the start of the Global Hackathon, in particular because this year, more than ever, has taught us the importance of AI. The COVID-19 pandemic has been a huge shock around the world. It's presented some of the biggest health challenges as well as some of the biggest economic challenges of our lifetimes. What that's also shown us, though, is the power of data. They said about the Vietnam War that it was the first war to be televised, and that really enabled people in real time to understand the impact and consequences of war. I think the pandemic has been the first global crisis to be visualized. It's the first time we've had the data available to help us understand what was going on in our world, as well as to see it pictured via data, and through doing that, to communicate its impact and to communicate how we can better respond. There's many powerful examples of this, from the scientists who developed the vaccines that are helping us to reopen and stay safe, from the health professionals and officials who've used data and AI to better understand the spread of infections, to predict the cause of outbreaks, and to help us manage them, to economists who've been using banking data and accounting data to understand the impact on jobs, to understand the impact on businesses, and also spending as governments have pushed stimulus spending through the economy. Also, we've seen global supply chains around the world challenged through COVID-19, and using data and AI has helped us to understand where we're experiencing pressures and also to understand how we can unlock bottlenecks. Hopefully, we're slowly starting to emerge from the crisis, starting to vaccinate our world, starting to better manage the epidemic and health outbreaks, and also to better manage our economies and to make sure we can get people back into jobs and that businesses and borders can reopen. But as we do that, this is the time to build on what we've done with data and what we've done AI through the crisis, and to start applying what we've learned to more and more big challenges of our time, whether that's addressing climate change, whether that's addressing inequity, whether that's addressing other types of health challenges. More than ever, data and AI let us do this well. So I'm really excited to see the products of this hackathon and to see how our best and brightest minds around the globe put AI to good and responsible use to solve these challenges. Thank you.
Please welcome Stephen Elbourn. Stephen is the Managing Director of ITIC Systems, Education and Research. He's also the CTO and co-CEO at VITEC. He's an innovator and technology entrepreneur and is the director of a number of software and IT service companies, including ITIC, Yarn Lab, ITI, Cybersec Defense, and Data.
Hi, my name is Steve Elbourn. I'm the Director of ITIC, and we're proud to be a sponsor of the Build with AI Hackathon. ITIC was established in 2001, and we work heavily within the education space, focusing on cybersecurity programs in partnership with Macquarie University. We've been working with hackmakers since the beginning. This is the third hackathon that we've been a part of, and we've seen some great results and great outcomes from the participants. We're really looking forward to see what you come up with over the program and looking forward to the awards ceremony and the ultimate winners. So work hard, put the time in, do the effort, come up with some great innovative ideas, and we really look forward to seeing the results very soon. Thank you very much and enjoy.
I hope this was as inspiring and insightful for you all as it was for me. I'd like to now ask our chairman, Steve Nouri, to announce our challenge statements and officially start Please welcome Steve Nouri, founder and CEO, AI for Diversity. Steve Nouri is the founder and CEO of AI for Diversity, a non-profit global initiative that engages and educates diverse communities about AI to benefit society. He is a data science leader who has evolved the way people look at AI and innovations. He is a member of the Forbes Technology Council, Australia's ICT Professional of the Year, and an accomplished influencer on LinkedIn with 300 million views in the last year.
Hi everyone. Today marks a very special day. International Internet Day is celebrated worldwide every year on 29th of October. This was the event of the sending of the first electronic message which was transferred online over the internet in 1969. We are celebrating this together with this year's Build with AI hackathon. I would like to thank all the sponsors, partners, mentors, and finally the hackers and made event. I'm sure all of you are waiting to learn more about the challenges. So, without further ado, challenge number 1, digital learning and education. The pandemic has impacted education. Classes have moved online. Students have been isolated on screens and coping with this change. Despite the challenges, the digital school has the potential to transform education. Now, how can we empower students and teachers in this new digital school paradigm? Challenge number 2, using AI to identify actors. Known as the speaker diarization problem, teams will be tasked with developing and implementing a method if there is one or more than one voice present in an audio clip. This is an interesting one. Challenge number 3, zero waste, zero hunger. How NGOs can leverage AI. Traditionally, NGOs are not equipped or funded to use the latest AI data-driven technology to help provide these services efficiently with the best consumer experience. So let's help them to provide a solution built with AI. These are the 3 challenges that competitors will be tackling through this hackathon. After the competition, we will be holding our very first project showcase and panel discussion after hack events. There are 3 amazing parts to these initiatives, and make sure you don't miss any of them. Firstly, we will be holding panel discussions in the coming weeks with leading experts, technologists, and thought leaders. The topics are responsible AI, the future of AI, and AI education. Secondly, we will be hosting our regional ambassador talk. This will involve the most innovative hackmakers representatives from across the world sharing their stories, how they transitioned into tech, what tips they can give to students, and how to change the innovation scene. Finally, we have invited some winners from our previous hackathons to share the stories of how and what they've built, their takeaways, and what they've been up to since they competed in the Hackmakers Hackathon, just like everyone here. Straight after the opening ceremony, we will be holding a speed meet and greet session. If you're looking to join a team or meet a mentor, be sure not to miss this great opportunity to meet thousands of awesome participants live. Good luck and let the learning begin.
We cannot wait to see the innovative solutions that the teams will create over the next few days. It's going to be a weekend of white-knuckle hacking, learning, and uniting as we come together to solve global challenges. Thank you again to our participants, mentors, and lead mentors. You are the hackers and makers that make this organisation tick. Finally, a sincere thanks to our community partners.